You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unat Gentry. It is Tuesday, June 13th. Happy Juneteenth week. And in our top story, multiple law enforcement agencies join forces to apprehend a suspect and 3 others in a high-speed pursuit Monday afternoon. News 25 catches up with Sheriff Joe McGill, who's giving us all those details.
Hi, yesterday afternoon at approximately a little bit after 5 p.m., a call came into the Nye County Sheriff's Office from North Las Vegas Police Department and Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department advising that the Metro Police helicopter was following a robbery suspect vehicle westbound on Highway 160 from Las Vegas and that they were passing Mountain Springs. The helicopter was following and there were no further patrol units following at the time. In the area of Highway 160 and Trout Canyon Road, the vehicle came to a stop, we believe because it had run out of gas. That the driver and occupants of the vehicle got out of that vehicle and at gunpoint took a maroon Honda from an unsuspecting motorist in the area. They then continued driving northbound on Highway 160 into Pahrump. We were getting updates as that happened. Deputies attempted to forcibly stop the vehicle with stop sticks as it entered Pahrump, which was unsuccessful. The vehicle then went westbound on Highway 372, crossing the California border, and we lost the helicopter support due to it being low on fuel and having to return to Las Vegas. Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies and supervisors and myself continue to follow this vehicle at speeds well in excess of 100 miles an hour for nearly 100 miles, to the point where the vehicle was stopped with spike strips in the area of Baker, California, and the vehicle did come to a stop. One occupant jumped from the vehicle and tried to escape. He jumped onto the I-15 southbound highway toward Los Angeles and attempted to carjack another vehicle at that location. Deputies were able to take him into custody. The vehicle continued out of control on a side road in Baker, and the vehicle was forcibly stopped by 2 unmarked units that had been pursuing. A female had gotten out of that vehicle and fled on foot into a convenience store and was later found at a fast food restaurant a short distance away. 2 occupants in the vehicle were taken into custody at the time that the vehicle was stopped, and all 4 subjects were taken into custody at the scene. Due to the fact that we were in California at the time of the stop location, detectives applied for an emergency arrest warrant for all 4 individuals. They were taken into custody and transported by the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office and California Highway Patrol, where they were booked on our warrant. They will be awaiting extradition or extradition hearings. All 4 individuals were charged with possession of a stolen vehicle. This incident began with an armed robbery in the North Las Vegas area near Ann and Decatur of a mobile phone store. Several cell phones and cash were taken. None of that cash was recovered at the stop location. We did, however, recover 1 handgun that was thrown from the car just at about the location where the car was stopped, and that handgun as well as some cash are in our custody. The names of the individuals are as follows. First is Nancy Teran, T-E-R-A-N, Lorenzo Teran, Donald Rucker, and Casey Perry Hagee, H-A-G-G-I-E. Again, all four individuals are in custody in California at this point, and arrangements will be made to extradite them back here to Nye County and Clark County, where they will stand charges for multiple felony crimes.
In other area news, a man and woman are arrested after law enforcement officers witnessed the state their children are in.
On June 7th, Nye County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to the Atomic Inn at Beatty, Nevada, due to a report that Destiny Gutierrez was in one of the rooms. Officers were also advised that a male by the name of Grant Leffler was last seen with Destiny and had a felony parole and probation warrant. After locating and contacting Destiny, Destiny advised officers that Grant was inside her room and had consent to go into the residence. While inside the residence, Grant was located inside, laying on one of the two beds. While being taken into custody, officers noticed an alleged used meth pipe in the bed next to Grant. The meth pipe was in plain view of three small children where the children had access. According to the declaration of arrest, one of the children had defecated in their diaper, and two of the other children were laying in a bed that had fecal matter on it. Allegedly, one of the children near the meth pipe had fecal matter running down their leg, and Destiny admitted that the children were hers. Both Grant Leffler and Destiny Gutierrez were arrested and charged with child abuse or neglect. Grant Leffler has also been charged with arrest for violation of probation and failure to attend on traffic citation.
All right, don't grab that remote as we head into break. We're saying congratulations to NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets, and we're also saying good luck to our hometown team, the Las Vegas Golden Knights, who are playing the Florida Panthers right now at T-Mobile Arena to try to win it all.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Hello and welcome back to News 25. Now it's time for an update on a story we've been bringing you from our court system. Repeat offender Ryan Sanders makes an appearance in court following a probation violation. Rory Rossell reports.
Ryan Sanders was in the Honorable Judge Robert Lane's courtroom earlier this week regarding a probation violation and a guilty plea agreement. Back in November of 2022, the wanted fugitive was captured after a 74-year-old female reported that she was kidnapped, raped, beaten, and left for dead. Deputies were dispatched to Malibu Avenue here in Pahrump for the report of the assault. Upon arrival, they found the 74-year-old female who reported the assault. Further investigation revealed that according to authorities, the elderly female was kidnapped by Sanders after she woke up to him attacking her. The female was subjected to several brutal attacks by Sanders, who also burglarized her residence. Sanders subsequently bound the female and loaded her into her own vehicle. It was at the 3000 block of Malibu inside an abandoned recreational vehicle that she was again assaulted and beaten. During court, Sanders admits to beating her with a fence post as well as admitting the harm done to the female. After following an extensive manhunt in 2022, Sanders was located in a trailer on Elderberry Street. Sanders was also on probation for several other charges during the time of his first arrest, according to police. During court, his attorney Kelly Blatnick spoke regarding the plea agreement that he later accepts, and Judge Lane also follows up asking if Sanders does indeed plead guilty.
Based upon this guilty plea agreement, the prosecutor, I believe, will be announcing that we're going to be continuing the violation of probation hearing and essentially all the other cases until the sentencing in CR 23-0159. The gravamen of the guilty plea agreement is that Mr. Sanders is pleading guilty to count 1, first-degree kidnapping causing substantially bodily harm, and count 2, attempted murder, a category B felony in violation of NRS 193.153(1A)(1), and that the recommended sentence will be count 1, definite terms of 40 years with parole eligibility beginning after 15 years, and that he will serve a consecutive sentence on count 2 of 5 years to 12.5 years in the Nevada Department of Corrections. He understands that this will result in him serving an aggregate sentence of 52.5 years with a parole eligibility after having served 20 years. So essentially 20 years eligible for parole with 52.5 years as the maximum.
November 21st and November 22nd, 2022, here in Pahrump, Nye County, you willfully seized, confined, abducted, concealed, carried away, or kidnapped a female identified as BL by taking her away from her residence on Enchanted Mesa Street to another location on Malibu State Street for the purpose of sexual assault, extortion, or robbery, or for the purpose of killing or inflicting substantial bodily harm, with said kidnapping resulting in a broken orbital bone, facial or head injuries, or anal tears to said person. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. Are you pleading guilty to the attempted murder because, in fact, on or about November 21st and or November 22nd here in Pahrump, Nye County, when you kidnapped BL, you put a plastic bag over her head, wrapping tape around the bag and her neck, hitting or striking her with a fence pole or other solid object. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll accept your guilty pleas. We'll set up your sentencing on August 21st at 0900. We'll see you then.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, it is still June, but we're already gearing up for Pahrump Fall Fest in September because the Board of County Commissioners issues the town of Pahrump an outdoor festival license for the fest to be held at Petrick Park on September 21st through the 24th.
Yes, Commissioner. Make a motion to issue a outdoor festival license for the town of Pahrump for the Fall Festival being held in September 21st through the 24th in 2023 at Petrick Park.
Second. Thank you, Commissioner. So I have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any further discussion, questions for Jimmy or Courtney?
I'd just like to make a comment in their regards. They've been doing this for a couple of years now, and I think they've apparently done a great job because we managed to keep it going all this time. So I have to support them. Thank you.
Yes. And they're still here, Commissioner.
Yes.
They are there 24, the 4 or 5 days prior and after. They're still here. They're smiling, and they're willing to continue to take this on, which is wonderful. So we really appreciate both of you and your staff and the volunteers that go out. It's not just one person or two people. It takes a lot to put this on.
And by the way, this is a 24-hour-a-day job while this is going on, and maybe they'd like some volunteers. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Okay, if there's no further discussion, I'll call for the vote, please.
Aye.
Aye.
Bullseye.
Carboni, aye.
And stay tuned. You're watching the leader of Southern Nevada's news network right here on News 25.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back. In today's health news segment, we start with Nye Communities Coalition, which is hosting an event to help educate the public and everyone about mental health issues that occur in our youth.
So my first event is Youth Mental Health First Aid. It is a class that teaches you what might be the difference between regular adolescent development and what might be a youth in crisis. It's going to be at the Coalition at Nye CC on the right side of the Activity Center in the classrooms on June 16th between 8 and 5. Basically, call me at the Coalition, 775-727-9970, extension 204, to sign up for the class, and then show up at 8 o'clock in the morning on June 16th, and we will teach youth mental health first aid.
And in other health matters, kids may think they can spend as much time as they want on their screens once summer break arrives. But Dr. Gina Robinson with Cleveland Clinic Children's advises parents to keep some restrictions in place.
It's okay to relax the rules some, but you don't want to end up with kids who are just looking at a screen for 10 hours a day, 8 hours a day. And it's easy to do that. I think we have to encourage kids to be more active, even just outside in their neighborhoods.
Dr. Robinson says there are many health benefits to spending time outdoors and staying active. Not to mention, it's good for younger kids to use their imaginations while playing verses depending on a screen for entertainment. She says it's best for parents to set ground rules early so their children know what to expect. There's also the option of using parental controls and screen limits if needed. So, how much screen time should be allowed? Dr. Robinson says it's best to stick to 2 hours or less a day, and then break that time up into smaller increments like 15 or 20 minutes with other activities scheduled in between. She knows it can be tough to do, especially in the summer, but it's worth it.
Parents are tired. I get it. You're working, you're doing all of the parent things, and you come home, you're cooking, you're trying to get the house, together and spend time with the family and do all of those things. So it's hard sometimes to keep all those balls in the air. And it's easy to kind of let your guard down and then just say, okay, you can have your screens. But just try as hard as you can to keep some structure.
Dr. Robinson also says research continues to show how screen time can impact kids, not only with things like imagination, but the content kids are watching can also be overstimulating and might affect their attention span long term.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Well, it is a beautiful June afternoon, and we see some horses taking refuge in the shade. Not a bad idea for us either, as those temps continue to rise. Our weather after the break.
News 25 weather is brought to you by Dairy Council of Nevada. Undeniably delicious, undeniably dairy. Enjoy what's real.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. It's John Kohler at the KPVM Channel 25 Weather Studios up and down the Ace Country Radio Network and worldwide on the local BTV app. The app you need on your phone in 2023. You should get it. It's great. I use it every day. I'm not even kidding. Fernley and Fountain, 78 degrees. Weather Twins, congratulations. Carson City saw 76. All the kids are cool in Tonopah at 74 degrees. You're a Cool Spot Award winner. Congratulations. 76 out in Goldfield. Beatty saw 87. And dang close to Amargosa at 93 degrees. You're a Hot Spot Award winner. Once again, congratulations. Perfect poolside weather in Las Vegas. A great night to be winning a Stanley Cup, don't you think? 89-degree high today. There's a couple of achievements you could do. And here's Death Valley at 104. Yeah, Death Valley, what do you do? Here in the Paradise Pahrump. Let's take a look. Our current temperature, 88 degrees. Very nice. 90 just a little bit earlier. Winds whispering to us gently out of the south and southwest. Just 7 miles per hour as the sun rose this morning at 5:25. Look forward to set this evening about 8:02 under clear skies. We'll have beautiful star watching as we head to our low of 67 degrees and humidity at 27%. There may be some clouds gathering. Let's look at as we come in. Yeah, look at that clouds next couple, 3-4 days. Looks like temperatures staying up there in the low 90s and maybe a possibility of some rain spritzing at us on Thursday and Friday. Looks like all that goes away on Saturday. We have clear skies, temperatures all the way up to 95 degrees, and then comes a bunch of wind. Look at that. Sunday and Monday gusts up to 21, 18 mile per hour averaging. But that'll clear the skies out. At least the temperatures are up in the upper 80s. Not too much to complain about here in the Kingdom of Nine, don't you think? All right, back to the desk. Here's Unite Gentry.
Thanks so much, John. And I meant to tell you, love the haircut. Well, again, the Las Vegas Golden Knights are in the thick of it right now. The hockey game is going on at T-Mobile Arena as they vie for the Stanley Cup and try to win it all. It could happen tonight. So again, go Knights go. And again, congratulations to the NBA champions, the Denver Nuggets. We love all of our sports teams, local and nationwide. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unat Gentry, and from all of us here at KPVM and Ace Country Radio, thanks so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the air next newscast. Good night.